Hard Hat's all about showing up to play hard, doing what it takes to win.
If you want to cement legacy, win another.
He's your third center.
You don't want to pump him up too much, but it's hard not to.
This is maybe the most I've ever agreed with you.
So next guy I'll bring up here, we mentioned Hauser, a guy who could depart here. I find this need interesting for the Celtics, and it's tough. I mentioned this on another show. You didn't even draft him. You picked up Sam Hauser undrafted out of his class, developed him through Maine on a two-way, got him up to the NBA, and to a point, defensively in particular, where he survived NBA Finals minutes and thrived in them. I think he hit 11 threes in that series against Dallas. So it's easy to say move off Hauser this summer, and he's probably the easiest contract to move. But replacing him is much more challenging. And I don't know if Shireman's capable of it. Shireman has a little bit of a different game than Hauser. So I'm looking at this draft here and thinking about some shooters. And they did work out Chaz Lanier. I find that one interesting for them. But I actually find Koby Brea a little more interesting because he's a little taller. I want to say he attempted more threes in total over the years he played, or it was close between the two. Brea was actually a little higher. I think he was 43 for his college career.
I mean, Brea's literally led college basketball in three-point shooting percentage. So, like, when we're talking
is this guy potentially the best shooter in this draft?
He's certainly up there. I think when you're talking about best shooter, you're going to put guys like, Con Knipple up there. You're going to put Trey Johnson up there. But in terms of, and obviously we mentioned Walter Clayton earlier, but in terms of someone who can challenge those three guys who are likely projected top 20, the top 25 picks, you're getting a real nice value play in somebody like Koby Brea if you're able to get him, later in the first round, early in the second round. I think when we came into this season, we didn't quite know what we were going to get from Brea because he's had, multiple lower body injuries. His college career was a little bit in flux in terms of how much time that he's been able to play somewhere like Dayton. But when he's been healthy and he's been on the floor, like I said, he's been one of the best shooters in college basketball throughout his entire career. And he's someone who knows how to make every single type of three-point shot you would want him to make. He can hit shots off movement. You can work him off different actions. He can certainly step in and pull up and hit a three-point shot. Even when he gets inside the arc, he can get to that 1-2 dribble pull up and certainly hit something around the free throw line or areas in. Like, that's the type of shooter that you want to be able to bank on and project to the next level. You don't just want someone who, he might have hit 38% of his shots from the corners, but if he's not necessarily someone who can come off a quick action, relocate, come to a full stop, and then get that shot up quick, those are the types of shots that you're going to expect someone like a Brea to have to make at some point at the NBA level. Again, you're not just having someone who's going to be able to sit in the corner, but the other part of that is when they do come off of an action and that initial shot's not there, do they have the wherewithal to actually make that next decision and keep the ball moving? A lot of what I was talking about with Cam Jones. Koby Brea does have some pick and roll experience. And I think last year at Kentucky, when he did get a little more on-ball opportunity than he had playing off of exclusively other guys at Dayton, he did actually excel in some pick and roll reads, both scoring for himself and even making some passes out of those possessions. So I think when you're talking about someone who is going to fit into a specific role, we're not necessarily talking about specialists anymore in the NBA body. We're talking about guys who can do a little bit of everything, and ball movement is crucial to any aspect of offense at this point in today's game. So I think with Koby, you're getting that solidified, bankable skill that is his three-point shot in every way possible. But you are, I think, getting enough of the other stuff there in terms of the ball movement, the passing, and then he is a 6'6", 6'7" wing. I think he's long enough to be able to at least hold his own defensively at the NBA level. No, he's not going to be a top-tier stopper. He's not going to be someone who you're throwing on the other team's best perimeter option. But I think he's going to at least be able to hold his own to where he's not a major net negative on that side of the ball. And if that's the case, and you're getting all of his shooting equity along with it, I mean, that's absolutely someone you target late first, early second round.
Is that where you project him going?
Yeah, I have a top 35 grade on him at this point, and I'd be shocked if he went any lower than that. I think you're talking, for the Celtics, 28-32. I think that's the sweet spot for his range.
Perfect. I think he's a great fit for what they need right now. And will he be Hauser? I think, again, it's tough to say a guy's going to shoot 41 for 4 seasons and then have the playoff success Hauser's going to have. But this track record right here, the amount of shots he's had in college, I know you mentioned the availability, a little bit of an issue with the health there. So we'll see how that goes. But The production shooting wise, when he has been available, looks phenomenal. And then you got 91% free throw shooter here as well.
Absolutely. And then you talk about replacing Hauser. I mean, if you go back and look at Hauser's college career, especially, his later part when he was at Virginia, he was actually one of the guys in that draft. I had a sleeper top 25 grade on him because I thought he was just that versatile of a shooter. But it's a lot of the same things. Hauser wasn't just a quick catch and shoot guy. He soaked up a lot more usage than people give him credit for at Virginia. He was their top tier shot maker, someone who was able to get his shot, 1-2 dribbles, pull up. That's the type of player I think that Brea can be, and that's certainly a lot more of what he got to show at Kentucky. It wasn't all just quick catch and shoots. He created a lot more for himself at Kentucky in the SEC, one of the toughest college conferences we've seen in recent memory, and he did a great job at it. So I think, again, those are the types of guys that you want to bank on to be able to hit. When you're talking about these guys who are projected as quote-unquote role players and fitting around the margins, a lot of these guys who are role players in the NBA were a lot better college players than they get credit for. They were the best or the second best player on their respective teams. I think Brea has done enough throughout his career at this point to certainly earn that bill of, hey, I could actually scale down and play this specific role in the NBA because I have all these ancillary skills behind me.
No one's sneaking a vegan brownie by me, I'll tell you that.
Okay, you know what, John? We're going to do it.
You have to feel that way too, Bobby.
I have to feel that way.
Yeah.
Slide Al over and make Luke your first center.
Bobby, we gave you Luke hour early. We're not going to end this on a damn conversation about Luke